This video covers notes 19.6, which is just operations with radicals. So all today is putting all of the other days together into a day before we have a practice day. So we've reminded you what your steps are up above. If you're adding or subtracting, you try to see if you can simplify if possible. Only combine the numbers in front if you have the same square roots. Multiplying, we multiply outside and outside, inside and inside, and then simplify if possible. And then dividing, we reduce outsides and insides, simplify if possible, and then rationalize if there is a radical in the denominator. Remember, all of these we want to check in the calculator first. No matter what the problem is, no matter what the operation is, you always want to check in the calculator. So we're just going to go through these problems and kind of talk about it's a little bit of everything. So number 1, 5 square roots of 144. Woo, good thing we checked that sucker. The square root of 144 is 12, so that one works out nicely. That's just a quick simplifying one. Number 2, 4 square roots of 49 over 144. Oh, how beautiful. That one also works out nicely. Number 3, I don't think we're going to get so lucky. Nope. So number 3, we're just simplifying this one. So square root of 72 is going to be 8 times 9. 8 is 2 and 4. 4 is 2 and 2. 9 is 3 and 3. Now remember, you can always break these up into different things. It doesn't matter what you start with. You don't have to start with 8 and 9 as long as you only write down the leaves that are left. So we have 2, 2, 2, 3, and 3. Always double check. And I get back to 72. Any groups of 2 I can take out, so I can take out a 2 and a 3, and then this little guy, this 2, will stay on the inside, and then outsides can hang with outsides, so 2 and 3 make 6 square roots of 2, and when we double check that, we end up with the same decimals. For number 4, the square root of 392 does not work nicely, so we're going to have to look for some things we can take out here. I know it's definitely going to be divisible by 2, so 2 and 196. Now 196 is 14 and 14. So remember, once you get a group of 2, you can stop there. You can keep going if you want. You'd break it down into 2 and 7, 2 and 7, and then just put it all back together. So we can start our answer. We would have 14 square roots of 2. Now with letters, we haven't looked at these in a little bit. Remember, you take your exponent and divide by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. That works nicely. So that's going to go outside as well. So we have a 14 and a b squared on the outside, and then a 2 that's left on the inside. Remember, with letters, if you end up with a 0.5, that means you have one letter left on the inside. If they all worked nicely, meaning they were even, then everything goes on the outside. For number 5, we have the square root of 150, and that does not work nicely. It ends in a 10, so I can take out a 10 and be left with 15. 10 is 2 and 5, 15 is 3 and 5. So I have a 2, a 3, and 2 5s. Always double check, even if I forget to show you in the video, always double check. There we go. So I can take out a set of 5s. So the 5s are going out. 2 and 3 stay in to make 6. Letters, I have 3 C's. I take out 1 and leave 1 in because I end up with 1.5. Come on. All right. And then E's, I have 4. I can evenly take out 2. So outside I have a 5, a C, and 2 E's. And then remember, 0.5 means I have a C left. And I have that number 6. For number 6, I would plug all this into the calculator. I promise it's not going to work. Remember, when we're adding or subtracting, we're combining like square roots. So I have square roots of 3. I have 5 plus 7 minus 2. So I have 10 square roots of 3. and then 4 square roots of 6. That will stay the same because I cannot simplify the square root of 6, but it does not combine with my square roots of 3 that I already have. Remember, you don't have to write it in this order. If you wrote 4 square roots of 6 plus 10 square roots of 3, that's the same answer. Number 7, I'm going to see if I can break these down. 10 does not break down, so I'm going to leave it alone. 40 is 4 and 10. 10 we just said, sorry, my dog's sleeping. 10 we just said you couldn't break down, but 4 is 2 and 2. So we had a -3 and a 2 and a 10 that's staying on the inside for a total of -6 square roots of 10. And then 4 square roots of 5, that's not going anywhere. So when I combine my like terms, I have square roots of 10 and square roots of 10. So 2 minus 6 is 4. And then that 4 square roots of 5 is not going anywhere. So I just rewrite it. And remember, you should be checking these answers on your calculator once you've finished. Number 8. Negative square roots of 6 times square roots of 15. Does not work nicely. These are both on the inside, so I have a negative out front, and then 6 and 15 multiply to get 90. Now 90 I can try to break down. I know it's obviously 6 times 15 when it catches up. 6 is going to be 2 and 3. 15 is 3 and 5. So I can take out a 3. There was already a negative. And then the 2 and the 10 stay inside to make, I'm sorry, the 2 and the 5 stay inside to make 10. Again, always check, especially if you're not feeling good about your answer. And we get the same ugly decimals. Number 9, I'm going to plug this in first. Square root of 90, square root of 5, doesn't work nicely. These are both inside of the square root, so I can try simplifying the top and the bottom without the square root in my calculator. So I've simplified what's under the square root. I have not gotten rid of the square root. Again, notice what I've typed into the calculator is without the square roots, so this number still needs to be under the square root. And then let me see if I can simplify. 18 is 3 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3. So I can take out a 3 and leave in a 2. And if I compare this with what I started with, I get that same decimal here. Number 10, when I plug this into the calculator, it's not going to work nicely. I try to simplify 1/2, it doesn't work nicely. I can rewrite it as the top divided by the bottom. The square root of 1 is just 1, but the square root of 2 is still stuck. And remember, this is what we have an issue with, the square root's on the bottom. So I will have to rationalize this denominator. So on the top, I would have the square root of 2. On the bottom, the 2 square roots cancel. And then this is what I can say is my answer because I have gotten rid of the square root in the denominator. So to compare, same ugly decimals, what we started with and what we ended with. So as you're working on this assignment, just make sure you're constantly looking for what are you being given and what do you need to do.